Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you are doing well. I just updated my pedal board a little bit, and I thought I would talk you through it because the reason I did it was fairly interesting to me, and I think maybe it'll be interesting to you. So I did something I haven't done in probably 10 years, and that is take the volume pedal off of my board. Um, so I've been thinking about doing it for a while. Uh, I love volume pedals. I've played a ton in different sort of ambient situations or churches where I'm doing volume swells with delay and things like that, and so just got used to them and have used them for just tweaking my volume without having to touch my volume knobs while I'm playing. But Sunday I was playing in church, um, and the volume pedal was not working. It was making a horrible noise every time I'd go to swell into something. Um, so I just set it up, to its maximum volume, and then didn't touch it. And I used the volume on my guitar, which I play like that sometimes, anyways. And I back off my guitar for less gain or cleaner sound. With pedals, I set them higher gain and then use my volume knob. So I'm not totally a stranger to that. But doing it on Sunday, I realized a couple things. First of all, I didn't feel locked into standing in front of my pedal board, which I have known that forever. I actually, at one point, I would do that so much, especially playing in churches, that I would, I'd have sort of a sore leg where I'd be standing all of my weight would be on my left leg for a few hours because I'm standing on, my right leg is on the volume pedal riding it. So that's probably not a good thing. The other thing is, I think, and this is probably true for a lot of players, I would use the volume knob or the volume pedal rather, as a crutch, and sort of ride into things, and I would play things that I wasn't so sure about because I've got this sort of buffer of I can get rid of the attack of it and just have these swell things. So I think I actually played probably more intentionally without the volume knob. Like when I went to play something, it was something that I knew, hey, I'm going to play this. I want it to be heard, and it made me play less timid, and I think that's a bad habit to get into. So even though I've thought about that for a while and try to do that anyways, I think something about not even having the option there, and if I want to do a volume swell, I would just do it on my volume knob if I want an actual volume swell, which is trickier, but probably worth practicing. So anyways, got rid of the volume pedal. I added my wah back, which I've had the wah off for a little while. For a while I was running wah in and volume, got rid of the wah, put the wah back, and now I'm actually running one less delay pedal. This was a pedal that I've loved and had on my board in some form or another forever. The Aquapus, way huge, fantastic, just analog delay. But I've been using the Tontu FX Delphine, and it sort of takes the place of this and a longer delay because it's a dual delay. So gonna hang on to this, might go back on at some point, but for right now it's off. I'll talk you through everything else that's on my board and my reasoning behind it. I'm going into a Polytune 2 Mini. I just like the Polytunes. I like being able to hit my all my strings and see what's in tune and what's not. They work really good. I can see them in the sunlight, especially the twos. I had the full size one. I still have it. Use it for some random things when I don't take my board. I feel like the 2 Mini is much better. I think there's a version 3 out now. Going from there into an SP compressor by Exotic. I keep that on almost all the time, especially with Strat and the Tele. I don't have it on a very extreme setting. I'm really just kind of adding a little bit of fullness and sustain for the single coils. So from there, I'm going into a Pettyjohn Electronics Lift. It's a buffer that's always on. You can adjust how much sort of like buffering it does, so the input you can tell what's given the sort of your high end back so that you can match it to the sound of your guitar straight into your amp. I really dig that as opposed to the buffers where you just plug in and there's a buffer and it does as much as it does. There's also a boost, so when I hit it, it's actually a boost, and then there is an option for a low cut and a high cut, and I can have both those cuts on only when I hit the switch or all the time. I usually have it when I hit the switch, so when I add gain, I can get rid of some of the low end if it gets woofy. So that's really cool. Into a Pettyjohn Electronics. This was a Petty Drive version 2. It's got their iron and their chime. I really dig that. I use it a lot. Great overdrive. Check it out. I love their company. Really have been into them for a long time. I've owned a ton of their pedals already. I haven't owned any of the newest versions of any of them, but they look pretty cool and sound fantastic as well. Then going into one of my favorites, you guys know it's one of my favorites. It's the Tontuga FX Songbird. I use it a ton. It is on a ton. It stacks well with every other drive I have. Then going into a Pettyjohn Electronics, another one, a gold, which is sort of like their Marshall Lee JTM Plexi kind of sounding pedal, into the Tontuga FX Salvage Fuzz. Now, the reason I have so many overdrives is, first off, I like different flavors of dirt. I tend to play non-master volume amps with just a cleaner sound and then use the pedals for dirt. And I like to be able to stack them in different combinations because it gives me a ton of different sounds. And especially when I was like on the road with country guys, and I'd have all kinds of different varying degrees of dirt that I needed, all the way from, 90s country or really clean country stuff to sometimes a Metallica song or something random in the same night. I could find just the combinations of those things and get me the tones I wanted. So I really like stacking pedals. I like the way overdrive sounds stacked, and I like having lots of options. I don't really probably need that many, but it's just fun. Then I'm going into a Wampler Fotape Echo. I love that pedal. I've had one of those forever as well. I use it mostly for the like dot 8, like a lot of rhythmic delay stuff that I need tap tempo for. And then all my normal delay stuff is the Delphine, which is by Tontuga FX as well. It's 2 channels. They're the same controls. You can just set it different. So I have one set for like almost like a slapbacky thing, like I would have done with the Aquapus. And then another I have set just for longer delays, a little more like sort of Pink Floyd, leady kind of stuff. And then I can turn them both on if I want to get kind of trippier or in for volume swells and things like that. I love that there's a preamp control on there because I can boost my signal a little bit. And sometimes when you turn on delay, and the Aquapus is bad about this, it almost felt like your signal was dropping off, like you were getting a little quieter, a little back in the mix, which is kind of what delay does. But there's a preamp control on the Delphine that kind of pushes you so that when you hit it, I can actually make it where it seems a little more in your face, more loud if I want, and still wet. So that is absolutely phenomenal. It's a really cool feature. And I use that a ton. The last thing on my board is a Dispatch Master by Earthquaker Devices. It's delay and reverb together. I use mostly the reverb, so if I'm doing like I want swimming in reverb, like ambient stuff with a lot of decay and the dwell, can't control that. It's just, but I happen to like the way it sounds. It's a simple pedal, and then there's time and repeats for the delay. I do have it on a little bit, but not much at all. You can barely hear it. I guess I could go through all the actual sounds while we're sitting here. Oh, and by the way, I put the Clyde back on the wah full tone. So if we're looking at it, that's just clean signal. I'm running through my Magnatone Twilighter today. That's the clean. And that is with the compressor on. Here's the compressor on. So not a big change. Compressor back on. Now, if I was to turn on just the Pettyjohn lift by itself, it's quite a big. Quite a big change there. But then I start going through the overdrives. When I stack it with the overdrives, it's adding more gain than volume. Here's the iron side, or the chime side of the Petty Drive. The iron side. Here's both of them together. Here's the Songbird. One of my favorite combos is the Songbird and the Ironside together. Here's the Savage Buzz. The Savage Buzz in the Songbird. Here's how I have the Wampler set at the moment. So there's that. Here's side one of the Delphine. Side two. Both together. And then here is the Dispatch Master. And then just for fun, the wah. So, there's all the things. Quick run through, nothing in depth. If there's something you want to see more of or hear more of, or me to talk through or talk about pedal order and those kind of things, that could be a fun video, why I put things in the order that I do. But anyways, let me know in the comments if any of those things are interesting, if you want to see any of those things, if you want to hear any more about any of those pedals, and I shall make a video. Anyways, hope you guys have a great holiday coming up. Talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching. If you have not, hit like and click the subscribe button, and then hit the bell so you don't miss videos in the future. Appreciate you guys watching and hanging out with me. Have a good one. Bye.